What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol OCGN for Ocugen Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame chart, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame chart. First things first, yes, this will be an update, and I also need to make you aware that in the post-market, big movement to the upside. If we take a look at the volume on this big breakout candle, we're looking at 4.5 million shares. That's greater than a majority of the 30-minute bars from the intraday session here as well as in here. So all things considered, a fairly healthy move is developing in the post-market. Whenever we're dealing with a gap up, though, we want to know where the the overnight high is first, then the anticipated open. Let's just call it 11 for round number's sake. And this is going to allow us a framework to essentially navigate the bell when it rings tomorrow morning. So remember, a lot can happen between now and 9:30, but this is a framework that actual numbers can be adjusted. And I would encourage you to adjust them as the bell rings tomorrow morning and as these numbers change. So taking a look at the daily time frame chart, whenever we're dealing with a gap, be it up or down, we need to at least consider, this is always scenario number one, is the gap and trap. So if we open here, fail to take out the new overnight high, and really just fail to attract new buyers, right, and maybe attract new sellers, that means trading underneath the open proves anyone who tried to get long in the initial stages there wrong, and that they should now start folding as the gap starts filling underneath. Now again, is it going to fill from 11 all the way down to 934 all in one day? I mean, it is possible. You can see that we have some fairly large red candles on this daily time frame chart. It's not, out of reach for the stock, but I wouldn't say it's a likely scenario inside of Ocugen. Really, just watch out for 1063 as the big support underneath us. Let's also check in and even see if this is shortable, right? Obviously, it's hard to borrow, so you're not going to do it here in Thinkorswim, but the options chain is okay in terms of what's going on with volume here around this 6 to ish 9 strike price. So to me, if you did want to short it, puts would be available, but really in only small size. You're not going to take on something trading 15 by 20. It's not like you're going to take 100 of them, right, and be a big portion of this volume. You would probably scale your position back if you were interested in trading it short. Regardless, that's the downside case, and I'm sure not one that a lot of people want to hear about. The more promising, or not promising, but the case I'm sure a lot more people want to hear about, rather, is the upside case, right? If we get a gap and go, what are the targets to the upside? Well, if we open here, do take out the overnight high, then you're looking for a breakout to bring us higher into this rather uncharted range. You'll notice that there's really not a whole lot of candle structure there. So up and over 1126, or the overnight high, wherever that ends up being, does open the floodgates up towards about 1388. That's the next structural area to pay attention to. Now, am I saying that the Ocugen stock here will put in a daily bar that looks like this? I'm not necessarily saying that. Could it happen? Sure. But again, do the probabilities favor that? Not likely. So I would just watch 12 as a round psychological number. Same thing with 13 on our way higher. That's really going to be it for Ocugen, right? It's, can we get a gap and go, or is it going to be a gap and trap, in which case you're either going to avoid longs or potentially play a small size put position to the downside, looking at 1063 as the major area to contend with. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.